As far as I'm aware, looks like things
Just
are up.
us.
We should be live.
Works for me.
Okay.
It's been a long fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's fair.
I had a real fun day on Wednesday.
Okay,
That's for damn
right
sure.
now. Maybe we're not live where I thought. I wonder if we're on my channel. Oh, man. Okay, so whatever. We're live. We should be live. I don't know if I'll have to fix the little chat box thing or what. Oh, my God. No, you can tell how the week has been. You can easily tell how the week has been.
Bill forgets which channel we're actually streaming on for a minute.
Oh, my God.
My brain doesn't work right now because of all the dumb shit that's happened.
We're it. Seth might appear in the chat, and when and if Shane gets here, I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances are. They have a huge trip they're taking, so they're screwing with their sleep schedule, especially Shane, who's normally a third shifter, who now has to be driving at 3 a.m. today, which you would think would not be a problem, but to show here at 9 a.m. means that he would be up all night and then come here and then film and then go home and then try to sleep at like noon or something. Maybe. I don't know what the chances are. He could be sleeping now because they said something about him trying to do his sleep schedule so that they could switch off while driving for their trip. And if that's the truth, then he could be asleep right now.
Oh, yeah, because he's going to be asleep now. It'll probably be up around like 9 or 10 tonight.
I don't know.
Be up, then leave. He drive until 9 in the morning.
I know his wife is awake because her and Michelle were talking, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I have no idea. I know that today, right now, there's two of us and there's folders, and that's the thing. So,
oh yeah, got to get these knocked out so that way we can actually do stuff we want to do again.
Yep. So let's take this down here.
So welcome to the Bill and Nick show.
We'll minimize that for right now. We'll come back to it here soon. But for right now, let's bring up the folders. And let's see. We have a 2004, 2005 in Project Nexus. What the crap is this?
Ultraman.
Ultra Nexus TV series. Dark Faust. Her host is a necromanced puppet. Sure, why not? That's a girl?
Okay, I'm going to say, compared to all the other Ultramen we've seen, this one's pretty cool.
He's got like a
fucking
evil jester thing going about him. Him?
A Harlequin.
Yeah. It's so hard for me to tell. Did I read that
shit!
right?
Hold on. That's not a fucking dew beam. That's a hand blast.
That's true. Did I read that right though?
Because no,
look,
her
host is a necromanced puppet. Her host. So that's
a
she.
she.
That's a guy. I think.
Look, all right, Bill, we had this whole thing where Trini became a dude when she morphed.
I don't know. I never know. I
I like the color scheme though.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Look, I could land at like a 3.5. I'm noticing.
I'm giving it a 4 for Ultraman. This is way better than basic Ultraman.
And I think that's what's starting to get to me is I don't think I like Ultraman designs like almost at all. Like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll find some things that really speak to me, but they're kind of ass.
Just a little bit.
Let's check in with the chat here and see what they're talking about. God of Ultraman, all hail, best series of Ultra. Okay, sure. Dark Faust. Yes, she's a girl. That's a girl. He's a puppet by lady.
Female human, male Ultra.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the
explained
Trini
it.
syndrome.
That explained it. So she controls this Ultra like a puppet thing, is what I'm getting out of it. Because they said necromanced puppet. So this dude must have died, and somehow she brings it back and controls it. Yeah. Neat. I guess. That's gone. Look, let's check out Dark Mephisto Zui.
Oh, Fisto Bill.
It says villain. Let's check this guy out.
Eh.
Yeah, he's fine.
Does he get a claw hand?
I
Oh,
think
no. He's got a weird blade punchy weapon.
Weird blade punchy weapon. It looks like...
I thought we were going to get something really cool for a second.
It's a Halo sword that ran out of batteries.
Yeah.
So he's just like, well, if it still does this...
It's like plasma sword this motherfucker.
Hugging.
What's up with the fucking Cobra Commander helmet on that guy?
Yeah. Which one?
The guy on the right.
Oh, the guy on the right? Yeah, no shit.
Cobra!
Oh, here, we're doing something.
Oh, he punched a ball.
We got a flying
Oh
punch
shit!
ball.
It's Piccolo's Health Zone grenade.
It's a flying punch orb from the chest. So he builds it in front of his chest, then he punches it, then it turns into a
Hell Zone
straight
grenade.
up Hell Zone grenade.
Yep.
And it's got terrible fucking aim, by the way.
Well, so did Hell Zone grenade.
He didn't land a single hit. Yeah, but Piccolo had bad aim on purpose so that he would surround you and trap you where you couldn't move, and then bring it in on top of you. This dude missed with literally every single orb.
Look, man, that guy knows some maneuvers. He can
guess.
list lazily to the left.
I guess so. I mean, he's fine.
He's not terrible. I'll do a 3.5.
Yeah, I'll do 3.
I mean, I don't really dig the helmet as much. The color scheme's fine. He looks like he's kind of got, like, somewhat pauldrons on his shoulders.
This guy here says, yes, I agree with Bill. If you're not a fan, they all look the same. Yeah, it's true. They just do. Not the biggest fan of Ultraman. Let's see. It would be impressive if it was a buzzsaw. Yeah, it would be. That would make it cooler.
It would have been cooler if he had a fucking pinchy hand.
A pinchy hand. Tinky, tinky.
Like, that would have been neat. Or an axe hand. Not like, I got a blade... I got a punching dagger thingy. Oh, yeah, whoop-de-fucking-do. You got X-23 claw. Have fun.
We're being told that this person is an evil clone, but...
Well...
I mean, it bears nothing on my scores or my care. It just is what it is.
Oh, and now it's the same guy, but good.
Yeah, turned good for a moment. Which changed his suit?
Well, his eyes are black now. I'm not seeing much of a difference.
Ultramen are strangely big.
Yeah, that little guy's got a fucking gun. He's like, I'm gonna shoot you! And Ultraman's like, bitch, I will fucking sit on you. Turn you into a fucking suppository.
Nope, here we go again. Is that the same thing? Are we doing... No. Oh, nope. He had to charge his forearm up. He was straight, yeah.
Yeah, but now he's doing like that weird wrist laser that Iron Man used to do.
There is a lot of preparation in their attack.
I mean, if somebody would have flew up fast enough and kicked him in the nuts,
I mean, look,
this man would have been like, ugh!
He has to go like this, then 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 he can shoot his one beam attack. And it doesn't look like it's that powerful, just like any other beam that I've seen so far.
I mean, if you run up and kicked him in the nuts... Okay.
And it shoots just like the little plasma gun in Halo.
Yep.
You can charge it up. Woo.
So we're gonna call this Halo Man.
Okay.
Good job, Halo Man.
There's that guy. He
Oh shit, Shane is here. Ah!
I don't see too much of a difference. If I was to, in all honesty, I'm probably sitting still exactly where I was. I'd probably say 3.
I'll agree. I mean, it's...
I don't think he changed enough for me to really care.
I didn't even notice really any change other than his eyeballs.
That's what I mean. Let's check back in with the chat here, see what people are saying.
Gotta power up that chi, man.
Saying they sort of like this. 3.5 from SH Walking Meme. Ultraman really are giant, though. I mean, yeah, as far as I could tell, yeah. So they're saying right there.
Yeah, that jackass that was sitting on the fucking bridge.
They're saying without a doubt these guys
Shane
don't
was
grow
super
big,
pissed
they are
off at that
giant.
guy. Wasn't that right, Shane?
Yeah.
Jake is saying that he would rather henshin into a Rider or a Ranger than an Ultraman. He has no desire, and that's fine.
No. I would rather henshin into a magical girl than a fucking Ultraman. Fuck that. And that is probably the least thing I want to do is accidentally suddenly grow boobs.
Yeah, and like this person right here says, when there's no context, it's kind of lame. And yeah, it is. It's just the way that it is. There's no real way around that. Sometimes, if there's no context, it is kind of lame. And then we got a Giant Evil Ranger would destroy this. Giant Evil Green Ranger would destroy this dude.
Well, Giant Evil Green Ranger would destroy a lot of dudes.
And then right here it says, walking meme again here, Bill, when you have 15 different things to unleash your power, functionally, it has failed as an ultimate power. And yeah, it does. It's ridiculous. Like, there's no way I'm doing all that shit. That's like one of the moves that I always really liked that Trunks does, Future Trunks.
Oh, when he fucking goes...
Yes! I think that's really cool. But like,
it's flashy.
if he honestly has to do that every time, and he's lucky enough to move at ridiculous subsonic speeds, so like, it doesn't matter as much for him. Yeah, because his hands
flap like this to us, but he's actually making hand gestures.
Yeah, he's doing
and then he's like, fuck you!
Exactly, he's doing a straight up ninjutsu thing from Naruto, but he's doing it at 700 times their speed. So they're over here like doing this.
They're
he's
like
and he's just got it. Like, that's
he's just
cool.
Like, I've done that spell like 20 times now. Bye.
Yeah, that's cool, and I don't think it hurts him, and it allows him to be able to do it. When you have an Ultraman whose entire attack was, first he has to get a lot of distance. He was way up in the sky. Then he has to charge an orb. Then he has to take the orb into himself. Then he has to do this. Then he has to cross his arms so they gleam. Then he has to bring the arms up.
Yep.
Then he has to take them all the way out and around. Then he has to power it all into this arm. Then he has to touch this arm. Then he has it all in this hand. Then he has to pull it back. Now he's ready for his attack. Now he pushes his hand out and it fires. That's way too much. It's way too much. We made fun of was it the Turbo guys? I think, no, it was Zeo. We made fun of Zeo because we were like, Shane, you gotta morph and there's like 9 guys on you. And he's like, get off me. I gotta do this arm thing.
Well, no, see, that's when you just make the arm thing into an attack.
Right, you almost have to.
So then you just kind of, like, you got a dude coming, so you just turn yourself so that way when you're doing the outwards thing,
so
you can just whap! Just flip it back around, elbow this dude.
It's ridiculous. Let's check out Nexus. This is Nexus and Fan's base form. Sure, why not? Hey, that's not bad. Look,
I mean,
for Ultraman, it's different enough that it caught my attention.
The helmet's weird.
That's fair, but
it's got fucking Ringo Starr hair, man.
I don't know if I've yet to see a helmet that is good on Ultraman.
No, but we saw a couple.
These monsters are fucking fantastic. Look! Take the damn Ultraman monsters and recycle them. They're good. Almost every single one that I've seen, even dating back to the 70s, is a legit monster, not guy in pants with belt and werewolf mask from Halloween store.
Bad.
Yeah,
werewolf mask
bad
from
Halloween store mask. Like,
or guy wearing cage on head.
yeah, use these things. You just reuse these damn costumes. He even kind of looks cool just down here, just the guy portion. I see this photography thing going on. I have no idea what the story is, but he looks fine.
I still say that helmet kind of reminds me of fucking
Bisharp, the Pokemon.
Oh yeah, okay, so it's Ultraman B Sharp. So that's works.
So Shane, you're driving to work.
No, I was gonna say it was Cobra Commander helmet kinda.
You're driving to work and the Ultraman has just punched a hole in the street
Turning around and
at
going
fucking
home.
4 a.m.
Turning around and going home.
You're turning around and going home?
He's calling in.
He's calling in.
Hey boss, I was on the fucking freeway and Ultraman high-fived the fucking pavement. There is a massive crater to the only way to work.
And the boss is
I'm not gonna make it.
The boss is like, Shane, I'm tired of this excuse. You need to come into
and
work.
Then you fucking just film
can't
it.
be attacking the street every day, Shane.
And then you're just filming it.
Shane's like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but for some reason every week the Ultraman has a fucking fight on the highway, and I can't get to work.
He's like, man, you need to move.
You need to move.
You got to move closer to work. You guys gonna help relocate me? Well, no, then fuck you.
See, there's
See,
another.
that one was simple though.
Yeah, but only because the alien is flying away, and he shot it in the back like a prick. But he has to kneel down, get into position, charge all of his electricity, change it over to this cross thing move, and then fire his forearm beam. It's easier.
Yeah, but it's the second it connects, he fires. So
yeah, it's easier than the others.
It's not as much
ridiculous.
Sorry.
It's a
charge
karate
up.
chop move. It's not his whole forearm this time. It's just the judo part of his hand.
the judo beam.
Judo beam! Pew!
But it doesn't look like it did.
Shit, he fucking just flipped me out of the air. What the hell just happened?
It hurt that dragon's back slightly. He was like, what the fuck? Dude, really?
He was just like, psh.
Who fucking shoots you in the back lightly when you fly? What kind of fucking...
Who throws a shit?
What the hell is that thing?
A monster?
It's fucking terrifying and awesome.
It's an actual fucking monster. Recycle these damn suits. Whatever company is making these
Ultraman,
suits,
I would not punch there.
just buy them.
Dude, don't punch the vagina.
Yeah.
Chest.
Yeah, don't punch there. You might get sucked in.
Like... it kind of blows my mind. It really does. That the monsters on this...
That's the kind of monster I would be fighting at a distance. No, get away from me!
fucking
Nope. At that point, I'm ripping up some of the fucking freeway and using it as a baseball
And
bat.
Shane is like, God damn it! It's on his phone. He just has it on speed dial. It's number 1 in his favorites. Fucking the boss is like, yeah, Shane, you look, man, I know that we just talked about this, but I swear to God, I'm driving to work. I almost just fucking died. Ultraman just fucking reached down and pulled up the overpass to use as a bat against a giant vagina monster. Yeah, okay, Shane, sure, a vagina monster. No, I'm fucking serious. It's not like I'm fucking liking missing all this work. Do you have bills to pay?
And then I turn around.
Watch the news.
Do you not watch the
At that
news?
point, I turn around, pick Shane's car up, and move it to the other side. He's like, I'll be there in 5.
Shane's like, never mind. Ultraman just moved my car across the overpass, so I guess I can actually make a paycheck today. I have no idea how I'm getting home, but I'll figure that out. Go the long way or something.
Just avoid the freeway.
Look, I'll give this guy...
After I kill the giant fucking vagina tentacle monster thing, I'd fucking show up at your work.
This guy's simple, but I'll
Fucking
give him
poke a
fool.
hole through the roof and grab your boss.
You gonna actually show up and unlike that kid in Shazam the first time where he didn't show up and everybody thought he was a loser because he pretended to he thought he pretended to be friends with Shazam, but then obviously if you watch the YouTube clips, he's in the clips with Shazam.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they don't believe him.
Because you could
Shane.
Photoshop
No, Shane.
and After
Never.
Effects.
Never doubt the stupidity of people to argue about things that are ridiculously obvious. The sky was fucking orange. And people were online going, that shit is fake. It's not that fucking bad up there. The sky was orange. New York is not supposed to be orange. That's not fucking normal. And people were literally arguing whether the sky was blue, Shane. The stupidity of internet people is unfucking deniable. Yes, they would argue, you aren't fucking friends with him. I'm in the fucking picture. I'm right fucking there. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't believe that shit.
And then at the end of the movie, when he does show up, like, ha!
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, here's 96% of Superman.
And then they're like,
because you don't see his head.
And then they're like, that shit was just a fucking cosplayer. I don't really believe that you're friends with him.
Electrocute that motherfucker to prove a point.
Yeah, no shit.
Fry that fucking kid.
Right.
Oh, can confirm person are smart, people are dumb. No, see, you messed that up,
was
though.
Fucking
it should have read, can confirm person are smart, people is dumb.
Yeah, fucking, he's like, New York isn't supposed to be orange. He's like, it's funny because of what's happening, right? It's fucking ridiculous. It's unreal.
Yeah, all the fucking wildfires up in Canada and shit. That's what's
so
going
crazy.
on.
It's so bad. I wish...
global warming's a fucking fake news. So's the orange skies over New York. It ain't real.
I just hope the best for everybody
Get the
that's
fuck
trapped.
out of here.
Everybody that's trapped in those areas, I just wish the best. Anybody that's dealing with it, because I mean we're feeling the effects of it. This is hard to believe. We're feeling the effects of it here.
Yep.
Have you seen, because we're getting haze sky reports and things like that. That's all the smoke still coming down from there.
Canada.
We're feeling
is that why
it
the
here.
moon has been like blood red like almost every night when it comes up?
Well, have you noticed
know.
like when you're driving and right now it almost seems like there's a fog sometimes?
Yeah.
That's the haze effect that we're under right now.
Yeah, it's not fog.
It's smoke.
We haven't had enough rain for
It's
fog.
literally smoke being carried from the wind currents down into our area all the way here.
It's just dissipated enough where it's
Yeah.
not causing as many issues.
But that's what that is. That's the reason the area looks like that while you're driving around and you're like, is it fucking foggy? No, that's what that is.
Nope.
I think summer's on fire.
I mean, kinda. Just not here.
What'd you guys give that guy? I gave him a 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll give him a
that's fine,
4.
that's
I mean, the
fine.
helmet's neat.
4's good.
Okay, let's go to Nexus Junus.
Every day's great at your Junus. Not so much. As honestly, I don't like all the red on this one. Normally I kind of like
Look
it.
at that shit! Look at that shit!
Now
It
that
spit
dude's
out
cool
a-
as shit.
It spit out one of those fucking alien tongue things, and he's like, "No!"
Get off of it!
That's awesome.
You will not burst from my chest.
Then he's straight up uppercutting it in the fucking head here. Like, these monsters are cool. I gotta hand it to the monsters of Ultraman. They're fucking sick. Recycle these monsters. Fucking use them.
Use them on something else.
Yeah.
Mainly Kamen Rider. They could use
Oh
it.
shit, a rider kick.
What?
It's right there.
It's a rider kick, except he's not a rider, so it's done properly.
Damn!
I don't know. The last time he tried to kick, he kind of missed the mark.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't this guy. That was a different Ultraman.
That is pretty cool.
Now, if you did your superhero landing, that's hard on the knees.
Yes, but that is really cool.
Or unless you just like transfer.
Up, shit's going down. Here we go, Shane. It's 7:30 in the
Why does
morning.
everything happen at
Motherfucker
7:30?
stood up.
Do monsters have like set schedules where they always attack at 7:30?
I think these weird clips that we keep getting are showing the actual time when somebody's watching TV.
That's what okay, that makes sense.
And I think the show is on.
I just feel like
At
monsters.
7:30.
Because we keep seeing those timestamps all the time. And I think
like
that's what's really
if
going
you
on.
think about it,
Yeah, because some of the Sentai stuff was what, 6:30?
I have a set schedule. Maybe monsters do too.
Well, this guy's doing some cartwheels. He cannot
They're
be
working
hit.
that 7 to 5, man. 7 to 5 grind, baby.
This dude's fucking spinning around, shooting his moon tiara powers, fucking pew, pew, pew. But cartwheels, man. You can't fucking be hit while you're doing cartwheels.
It's not possible.
I mean, yeah.
It's like Top Man said, man. Don't shoot me when I'm dancing.
So he's like, all right, I'm done with this color. Let's try red.
Yeah.
There we go. That's all. Because
A fucking ripple wave happens from above him.
A blue ripple wave makes him red.
Woo, woo, woo. There you go.
So does a red wave make him blue?
Yes. Why not?
No, the red wave makes him green.
Here's an attack. And then it comes back down? Is that what we're doing here? Or is it like a full area effect? I think it's an area effect attack. Is it?
I don't know.
No, I don't know if it was.
Dude, I don't know what the hell you did, but I feel like you just wasted time.
So he dances, he makes
he
some
gets,
glitter.
He gets fucking
He does
sparkly powers.
Then he
shoots
shoots it
a
up into the
beam.
sky. Then an explosion happens. And then I can't tell exactly what's going on
It
right
looks
there.
like it's making a dome.
Yeah, like an area effect, but then I don't see anything affected. And then he's fighting with a guy. I don't know.
Ha!
I don't know. I don't pretend to know. I don't pretend to know. So here we got a long power-up sequence. A celebration
Oh,
of
hey,
the
there's that
power-up.
vagina monster.
That's right.
He's shocking the pussy.
It's terrible.
Fucking atomize that bitch.
That's what he did.
Oh shit, X gonna give it to him.
Forearm beam.
I think that's the only part of Ultraman that's extremely lame.
Forearm beams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 3, I guess. I mean, he's fine.
It's basically the same guy, just a different color.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Yeah,
I'm just going to give it the same score because it's just a different color.
I 100% agree.
Renato's saying it was a warp beam, so he warped to a location to fight a monster. You got to do all that shit to warp?
Goku just puts his fingers on his head.
It's true, Goku does just kind of go...
Lord Van over here is claiming color translates to type of power. Red is strength, purple is special attacks, blue is speed boost. There are downsides to each one. So this dude's playing a game of rocket, paper, scissors with his transformations.
Rocket, paper, scissors.
Rocket, paper, scissors.
So wouldn't Rocket just beat everything?
No.
No, because...
It's one of those shitty rockets that
It
has
hits
one of
the
those
big
extra
bounces
wicks.
off.
Has one of those wicks. So
'Cause scissors beats
technically
rocket.
wins because it cuts the wick.
Yep.
And the rocket can't
And if
rocket.
it doesn't have enough power, it just bounces off paper.
Yep.
Yep.
So
And then paper laughs until
And
scissors
speaking
cuts
of which,
paper.
here's the blue guy. So he's
a 4.
he's blue. He's trying this kick here. I mean, he's almost got it. He's just not. He can't engage the leg. Just can't do it.
Huh.
I still congratulate it. That's a hard kick to do. I know from experience.
I can't do that kick. I don't bend that way anymore.
Once you chamber a kick, that's called chambering. You chamber your kick and then you basically shoot it out. It's like a weapon, and he can't force that chamber forward. That's basically, he can't do it. He can't get that high and kick that face. But
He could if he started to fall over.
that's hard to do. I won't crap on him.
He's
for
fucking
it that much.
right
I'm
in
just
that
saying what
one.
it is. Yeah, no shit. What do we got going on down here? Did you just karate chop a nutsack? Oh fuck! he straight got down on his knees like a Johnny Cage and was like, "I died." And he was like, "Oh, dude! We're fighting, man. That shit
Come
ain't
on,
right.
man. Who does that?
You can't just fucking punch monster nuts, you
Well, I don't
dick."
know. I don't know, up against a four-armed monster, I think I'm going to splits. If I can do them. If I'm Johnny Cage.
This dude is
Splits,
readying.
I'm going to hit the motherfucker in the nuts and run away.
This dude is
I'm going to
readying
sprint
the,
at that dude as fast as possible, and at the last possible second, I'm going to drop down to slide, and as I come through, I'm going to fucking Kirk punch his nuts.
That's what he's doing. He's readying the ultimate Kirk punch right here.
Yep,
He's in
double
the air,
fist
getting
punch.
his hands back. He's going to come down on that motherfucker's head.
Bring forth the Kirk hammer.
By the way, don't do the Kirk punch. You'll break your pinky. Just so you know.
Yeah, because the Kirk punch is this.
Yeah,
ain't it?
it's not a good idea because you actually come down on somebody like this, and your pinkies are what's going to take the brunt of that
And they're the
force
smallest-
against each other.
And they're the
They're the most fragile bones in your hand.
Really stupid attack. It's not a good idea.
I don't know, it's worked for Kirk.
Fucking kick.
Oh, double fist to punch your face.
I don't even know what's happening right here. Hey, you. Fucking. I don't know.
Near, far, wherever
Was he
you
attempting?
are.
Was he attempting the RKO?
RKO,
but did
I
not
don't know.
come from out of nowhere. So the guy seen it and he was like, "No, fucking."
It could be.
That's why you have to do it out of nowhere.
You have to come out of nowhere. You have to.
Mhm.
Fucking. Can you move to the side? We're trying to get a decent picture, but the sun is like in the worst
Hey,
possible place.
hey, dickhead! I'm fucking sunbathing here.
I mean, cool pose.
Isn't that the Sub-Zero, like, freeze slide?
So he just ran through that guy? Chop? Okay.
I mean, it looks like he's got a blade.
Oh, he's got an arm blade.
Well, remember, they said blue is speed. Then.
Okay, you
Right.
Assassin's Creed wannabe dude, get the hell out!
That's
hey,
cool.
hey, all right, that was kind of neat. His works as a shield.
Yeah, that actually is pretty cool. If he could put it up as a shield, and then maybe, just speculation, but I'm wondering if he's taking energy fired at him, then swirls it into his own attack and sends it back. That would be really cool.
I'm guessing that's probably what that is. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nope. Blue makes you blue too.
Blue makes you blue.
Okay. So it's just a blue
Just
one?
blue.
Yep. Blue is the color of changing.
I mean, red is a shade of blue.
Can we use a different color? We don't have it in the budget.
Nope, red
We don't
is
have
a
it in
shade of
budget.
blue,
Look,
Bill.
we paid for this one effect, one time, and damn it, we have to use it.
We don't have the budget because that asshole keeps breaking those freeways, and we have to pay for it. And
Look, man.
we're broke.
Look, see, we got this budget, but
Oh my.
I spent it all.
It's a bow.
It is a bow. Okay.
This dude's got.
All right,
That move was pretty cool, and look, the only reason I'm not going to call it out for being kind of slow and ridiculous is that is 100% a distance attack. He puts his arm up, he forms the bow, he has a ridiculous amount of distance before he uses it. That's not like a point blank, oh crap, I better start getting this beam ready.
now I will bring up one
Stop it.
thing.
Stop it. Stop it.
That's not how a bow works.
That's
Because
how-
he has it on his forearm, and then he reaches over to the other side of his forearm, which would make the bow pull really hard, but it's an energy bow, so I guess that doesn't...
No, he doesn't reach to the other side.
No, so he does.
Oh, does he?
See, watch. He starts here, but when you see the other scene, he'll have his hand under his arm. Watch when he fires it. You'll see what I mean. He's like this when it goes to that angle. So right here, he forms the bow
Yep, on the outside of his arm.
on the outside of his arm. Then he starts on the inside of his arm. See, it's under him, and then see, look, he's got his hand on the other side.
almost like almost going up his armpit. Close.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's still not how a bow works.
No, because if it was
Because the string's on the other side. Hold on, fucking yep, there we go. Fucking I got him. Yep, totally got him.
fucking rope burn.
But because of how ridiculously cool it is, I'll let it slide this one time.
That dude was really stupefied at what was happening to him.
I would be too.
Watch this. Well, look at his mouth. Pew! Oh, shit!
He's just like, are you fucking kidding me?
I wonder if that blinking means he's low on power.
No shit.
No, it means he leveled up.
No shit. Dodging. Amazing.
He's like, oh fuck, I gotta get out of here.
His
Yep, fuck,
super
fuck,
speed
fuck.
dodging attack allows him to dodge the attacks without being animated.
This is like some kind of like Dragon Ball Z shit.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what we're looking at
Yeah.
here.
Okay. Ultraman's... See, if Ryder could do this, I would stop shitting on him.
See, now if they're pulling off, and not that it looks wonderful, but they're pulling off the first steps to doing actual Dragon Ball Z combat in live action on a TV budget in like 2005, and a Hollywood budget couldn't even come fucking close.
It's true. Because how much was the budget for the Dragon Ball Evolution movie?
Oh, dude, I wouldn't even
I'd
speculate.
have
All right, hold on.
I'd have given
To
him,
the internet.
I'd have given him a nickel because that's all that movie was worth.
You know
Yeah,
what?
but at the time we didn't know it was only going to be worth a nickel.
I like him. 4. I'll go 4 on him this time.
I'm gonna stay the same because he's just changing his colors.
No, I understand.
So-
I like the blue.
all three of them I liked.
3.5.
So I'm just gonna keep it all at a 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. The budget for Dragon Ball Evolution was $30 million.
Oh, so practically nothing. Practically nothing.
Let me write him a check. Let me write him a check.
Let me write it in
You want to
check.
write him a check?
Yeah,
Good.
about $30 million.
Let
Let me check my bank account real quick. Let's see if I can do that. Oh yeah, I can do that. 30 million ain't nothing. It's laughable.
Just
Right.
check back in with the chat, see what all these people are talking about. Bill zoomed in before we could say the line. We played, well played, sir, well played. Ultraman and women also divided their clans by what color they are.
There we go. There's a Mortal Kombat reference. Those
What?
are $500 sunglasses.
No
asshole.
shit, that's exactly right. No shit.
Well, let me ask you a question, Bill.
What?
Do you think that Johnny Cage was warrant? And like, if somebody broke your $500 sunglasses, would you punch them in the testicles?
Are you asking me if Johnny Cage in movie universe is warranted for doing the splits and punching Goro in the testicular
When
region?
nobody else in the entire movie went that low. Everybody else is fucking fighting like normal, like, let's fight. But Johnny's like, man, fuck this dude.
Let me ask a question before I even answer.
I know it's a fight to the death, so
There we go. So this is a death fight with no rules where a man that can literally shoot ice cubes can freeze me and rip my head off or make me explode into a minute. Yeah, I'm punching nutsacks.
well, because here's the thing.
I'm punching nutsacks.
Here's the thing. This isn't the
I
old-
don't have special powers, but I got this hand,
Listen,
and you got a nutsack. And it doesn't seem to retort or help you that you have ice powers or 4 arms or are a dragon man or skeleton head. I'm punching nutsacks.
because no matter what, the most vulnerable part of a man's body,
I'm just saying, I'm not above it.
it's because it is a death
I'm
fight.
straight up speed bagging, Shane. It's done.
Oh, if they claim I'm cheating, I'm like, yeah, this is a death fight. There ain't no rules.
This is a
bitch.
death fight where skeleton men can shoot fire.
around,
That
look-
guy's a dragon.
Hey,
Fuck.
hey, Shane, son, look around. Does this look like the All Valley where there's rules?
No.
No, this is a death fight.
In fact, there's so little rules, Shane. There's so little rules that, remember, he punched him in the nuts. Gata! Motherfucker, dragon nuts hurt my fucking hand. Then, just simply left the ring.
Yeah, he just left.
And the fight wasn't over.
Yeah, then he's like, okay, he gets to that cliff and he's like,
He was just allowed to leave the ring, climb the mountain,
wait
go
for the
through the caves,
wait for the motherfucker to walk through.
go through the caves, climb even more of the mountain. There's no out of bounds.
No, there's not, except
Then-
for the cliff.
Once he got all the way up to the cliff side of the mountain, out of the entrance, he then climbed the mountain a little more so he'd be out of view.
That's when he drops his most famous line. Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole. Huh?
And then kicked faces
Dude,
from
he-
the high ground, by the way.
I feel like once you have the high ground, everybody. If you have the low ground, just quit the fight.
Just quit the fight.
It-
By the
two
way,
times now. 2 times in
I don't
cinema
know.
that
I
I've
don't
seen,
know why
high ground
movies.
wins.
I don't know why movies do that. By the way, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. It's got to be a weird Hollywood thing.
I'm wondering if it has something to do with like if you were a combatant that can only stay on the ground, but I can fly.
Yeah.
I have the advantage easily because I'm faster because I can come at you.
Look,
You think that until I bust out a flak cannon.
well, here's the thing. So,
You can't stop in midair.
So let's say for a moment, let me fix this real quick. Boop, boop. So let me say for a
Shane's
moment.
over here, by the way.
Yeah, he's over there. The high ground thing. I don't know why Hollywood does that shit.
No.
Because if you've ever fought somebody, like, if we're both going to sword fight, Shane, I'm going to give you a sword, I'm going to give me a sword. I, personally, want the lower part of the staircase.
On a sword fight, because I got to keep coming down at you.
You got to keep coming down at me.
He
All I
just
gotta
has to
do,
poke
all I
up.
gotta do is block high with my shield, or to the left, wherever, because you can't swing to the right. If we're walking up a staircase, there's a wall here, so I've got to defend this. You've got to defend this, this. I can still get my sword all the way up to
and
your
your
chin,
ankles.
I can cut
and you
your
have
legs.
ankles and legs,
I can just like, gotcha.
and
gotcha.
all of it is exposed to me. You can't hit my legs. You can't hit my lower body. All I gotta do with my sword and board is protect here and here. This is it.
Because you can't reach my lower half unless you have like a pole arm.
No.
In the context of fighting on a staircase moving up,
Take the bottom.
I want the low ground.
But any other time,
Now, if we're talking about I'm an army over there, and you're an army over here, and you're up here, and I'm down here, and you got arrows, I'm fucked.
there's no point. Because you have to shoot up.
Right.
Well, I
I'm
just got like,
fucked.
bitch.
I'm in trouble. Yeah.
Nope. I got a way around that.
Do ya?
Yep.
That's when Bill's down there like looking at me like, you underestimate my power.
Nope. Nope.
And like 3 seconds
Your
later,
army's up on the hill with arrows. They're like, we're gonna fucking rain death on these bitches. And Bill just pops over a bullhorn going, you forgot I've got Nick. And Shane goes, uh-oh. Because then all of a sudden we got a bunch of fucking Spartan Falnixes walking up the hill. Fucking got dudes like this and dudes like this.
Yeah, you
Fuck
can
your
You can
arrows.
create the tank system,
Yup.
yeah, but...
Doesn't matter. Go ahead and rain arrows down, motherfucker. We're fine.
So let's
well,
move
then I'm going to go
forward.
ahead and say that saying, and then you can finish the saying. Our arrows will block out the sun.
Yeah, then I guess we'll hug in the shade.
Move us
Frosty!
over there for right now. Okay, yeah,
your
that dude's
teeth.
done.
Alright.
Okay, let's finish this. This is Dark Zagi, failed clone of
clone.
Noah.
You might be failed, but you're fucking cool.
He's
How
black
are
and
you
red.
fail? Okay, if that's fail, I don't want to know what's...
Well, we're only a fashion show, so maybe something's wrong with him.
Kind of like Proto Man.
Yeah.
He was defective.
I gotta say, I'm actually digging this.
He just stopped a bunch
Did he
of
just
bullets.
Did he just do the fucking... Yep.
Yep.
He just did the Skull Kid fucking head bobble. Yeah, the fucking bloop.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Fucking
Like I
creepy.
said, we're-
What the hell?
Maybe that's why he's defective. He looks like he's like rampant. Like he's like more of a animal than he is.
Forearm beam. Pew!
Except that forearm beam seems stronger than the other forearm beam we saw earlier.
Okay, what are
Well, you guys
on?
know that I think black and red together is one of the coolest fucking designs.
This dude gets
This
a
guy's getting. I'm giving him
4.3.
Genesis.
Okay.
I love this. This is one of my favorite.
You do realize there
combinations.
are other things that we're going to be going through folders of, right?
Yeah.
In theory.
Yeah, and then I can give them a 5 if they're good.
I could go a 4 or 5. This guy's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I think I'm 4 or 5. I think for Ultraman, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's just black and red, though, is really what's giving it its edge.
Remember what we always said.
It's not any different than any other
But
Ultraman
color
I've
can make
seen.
something different.
Oh, it very much can.
Like
I
this.
didn't- hold on. This guy is Ultraman, Noah, Nexus, and next are his weak forms?
Something.
Weaker
Weaker
form.
form.
Sure. Here we go.
He's all silver or gray. I can't tell. Silver, and he's got like little wing things that are not the right direction. They're pointing
I
up.
don't know what those are. Maybe they're wings. Maybe they're just like Blue Beetle. He has those things that come up off of him that gather energy and stuff like that. I don't know what it is. Because he's not flying, and all the Ultramen fly, and they don't need wings, so I don't think those are wings per se. I think they're just something.
Unless they do something ridiculous.
Every other Ultraman flies without wings. So
Oh, I know.
I mean,
Are we thinking that they're flying? Or are they doing that weird thing where they can just stay in the air for quite a while, but they can't really fly?
I think that's part of it. I think they jump and then they basically hover around and shit. But no, because they very blatantly were flying because that one dude dodged that orb thing and then all those other orb things and was very blatantly...
Excuse the fuck out of him!
Well,
Fucking charge up that fucking forearm and Falcon! Punch!
Oh my god. Was that like a point blank fucking... Did he punch
He
the guy?
punched the beam into the guy, yeah. The motherfucker just did a Falcon punch.
Nope, you deserve everything that just happened to you.
I watched that man
You
twirl
deserve
twice.
everything that fucking happened to you. You watched him power up, watched him spin, watched him go down to his fucking knees during the spin, watched him come up into the punch. No, you deserve
Boink.
every fucking second of that.
Because the guy's like this.
Yeah.
And then when he gets close, he's like, wait, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What? Ah!
Exactly.
It's like, sorry, I was going through my fucking shopping list for the grocery store after we're done.
Yeah, okay, whatever. This guy is, He's 3. I don't know. He's Ultraman. He's 3. He's better. Look, he's better than other Ultra... 3.5.
Okay,
3.8.
4.
Okay.
I have to say, though, that I would say something corny if I was that dude and I punched that guy. I'd be like, see you next trip. Ah!
Okay,
Have
here's
a nice fall.
the next movie.
God damn it, Shane.
And fans. So this is the movie one.
They have more of a budget.
I mean, that monster looks fucking awesome.
I know.
But I feel like he's got a disadvantage. He's like, alright, long neck sucks.
I'll bet you when you watch this, though, even though we think they're cool, these monsters probably suffer from the same problem Power Rangers do, where, like, of course, they're not animated in any way. So, like, while this monster roars and does things, his head is just going. "Ah."
Because right
It's
now,
just a goofy, dumb
he's
looking-
got him like this, and he could be like, knock it off, 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 knock it off.
Huh.
I mean,
I don't know how I care for the suit.
you know what this suit reminds me of?
What?
Do you guys remember that silver metal Spider-Man suit? That
Little bit.
it was all metallic Spider-Man suit. I can't remember.
Yeah, the one that
Yes, that one right there.
what was that?
Kind of. I mean, just ever so slightly. The silver one right next to him.
He
there.
reminds
that
me.
one.
He basically just feels like a Guyver to me.
That's what I think. That's what Ultraman feels like. The only difference is that I've never seen Ultraman, but Guyver's far more brutal,
He looks cooler.
and he has titty beams, not forearm beams.
It's true.
And it depends on what he wants to do. He can do one titty beam,
You could do two.
and then when
titty
he's
beams.
done with you, he shoots you with the whole titty.
Yep. Ease.
He's
he
I don't
gives
know.
you the double D ray.
Four. It's kind of cool. It's got a Guyver effect. It looks like a living suit, kind of. It's
okay. I know that. I feel like it's supposed to be like metal.
I know,
but
but
it's bending.
I
It's
know.
like it's folding in on his hip.
It's one of those things that you. This is one of those reasons I have the scheme where it is, because I always tell people a 2 means you can appreciate it, but
If
as a
you're a
fan, you're
fan.
going to look past a lot of its problems.
What's that old saying? You have to suspend your belief. What's it called?
Yeah, it's not armor, and it's
You have to
very
suspend your
unbelievably
disbelief.
blatantly not armor.
It's not armor because it looks like it came from the dollar
Like
store.
when
But-
okay, so like imagine if we had the Iron Man movies, and it was very noticeable that like whenever he bent over or something, like there was foam armor, and sometimes it would bend into itself or like crease, and that's what you're dealing with here. Is that's a real suit, and Iron Man. They knew that if they were gonna make it work,
That's why
it was gonna have to be 90% CGI.
Well, yeah, they show you what percentage of what he's actually wearing,
Yeah.
and the chest piece is CGI.
Well, I've seen that they have a lot
but
of parts.
the helmet.
I've seen that they have a lot
Is
of
CGI?
parts, but different scenes use different parts. So if they have to emphasize the chest, they put the real chest on, and then the rest of it is just a bodysuit that they'll CGI the parts on.
Yeah.
Yep.
If he has to have the arms, they'll put just the arms on or whatever, and they'll emphasize the arms as
I think
the
that's
real
what I think that's
things.
what makes Captain America's costumes just so much easier because that's something that
They're just
throw
clothes on.
It's just normal, like
Right.
depending on the movie, like in Civil War, Civil War or The Winter Soldier, they look more like combat. Like,
well, yeah, it's because he was wearing a combat uniform.
but then in Avengers, it looked like he just got that from a costume shop
Right.
because that's the worst costume that he had in those movies was the first Avengers movie. I didn't like it; it looked cheap. And then
Really?
they
The first Avengers
yes,
movie?
I just didn't care for that suit. But
Which suit?
it's the one that he had the little feather things on his side. It's
the wings.
The wings, yes. And then
The one that fucking
The first movie.
Coulson made for him.
Mhm. Because Coulson, I don't.
No, well, the reason I'm asking, no, okay, your first Avengers movie.
Avengers.
I
not-
thought you meant the first Avenger.
No.
Because I was going to say, that might be my favorite costume.
No,
World War II
the
fucking-
World War II combat looking one. Yes, I love
Yeah.
that one.
I
It's
know
the
what you're
first
talking-
event.
I don't like that costume.
It's-
That's the costume of the first Avengers movie.
They-
is fucking
I understand that
terrible.
They did it for the simple fact of because new age Marvel fans, or at least Marvel fans growing up in the 90s, would have most recognized
The
Captain
suit-
America with the stupid blue cowl
The
with the
suit
little
that he
wings
wore.
on it.
The suit
I
that he.
think it's because it's not his suit.
The suit
Yeah.
that he wore
No,
in
the
Avengers
actual-
is the suit that he wore before
If
he went
you-
out to the when he was doing those
Look, if you
dancing
actually- if you-
promotions. That's the suit.
If
Yeah.
you watch that, if you're watching the Avengers movie and you
Well, that
watch
was
that
made to be
scene
cheap.
closely,
It was because
if you watch that scene closely, he gets that suit from a display case. It's not actually a suit. It just happens to be memorabilia that he wears. He gets it from a display case.
Yeah, that was Coulson's.
Yeah, it's literally a fan item. It's a memorabilia item.
and at the
So it's
and
not-
and
it was
and
never
stuff
meant-
was hitting the fan fairly
It was
quickly.
never meant to hold up to actual combat.
So he needed a suit because
Right.
his stuff was hitting. When you see him land in Germany and he fucking lands and he blocks Loki's attack with his shield, and he's like, "The last time I was in Germany, last time I was in Germany and somebody stood over a bunch of people. Me and him had a disagreement." And I love that. But that suit, when he first landed and he stands up, I'm like,
I know.
the suit could have been better, but this movie is awesome. The suit could have been better.
They
Then
don't-
Iron Man comes down. He looks infinitely better.
They don't fix it. The whole movie, they never bother to like give him another suit.
But
or
that's why
anything like that.
that's why when Winter Soldier happened, that suit I was like much better.
Well-
You fought in World War II, so that's what you're used to.
There was also more time
to get that
get
bitch.
him set up because it was literally, oh hey, we found you, we thawed you out, you're kind of functional. Oh shit, we have a god in Germany trying to nuke people.
How long have you been? I know that you've been awake for like 3 days, but can you like help us save
I
the
don't know
world?
how long it's supposed to be.
I know,
but
I don't either.
it's-
I'm just making
the
it.
real thing is that he's not active service. So
No,
they weren't-
because
they
he's in-
weren't
because they-
fitting him.
when-
They weren't fitting him for armor or they. And in fact, they didn't even have him in the wings as a possible soldier for the Avengers Initiative. Other than they were like, "Hey, this is a thing," and he's like, "Okay, that's."
They had
a
to
thing.
set him up with his
But-
own fucking apartment because he has nothing. He has no idea. He has no anything.
He's not commissioned at the time, and then later
They have to bring
in
him back from the dead.
Well, in the second movie, he's
Basically.
working for Shield.
He has-
That's
because he
very
has his own
different-
nice apartment.
That's very different. Well, it's not just that. When you're working for Shield, they can outfit you
Yes.
for equipment.
But when Nick Fury goes to that gym, you just see him he's still wearing. I swear to God, I feel like I think he's still wearing his old '40s clothes, and he's hitting that
Yeah.
punching bag.
Probably.
And then the flashbacks are coming of when he fucking took that thing down into the ice, and he fucking breaks the goddamn. That's like the third or fourth punching bag he went
Right.
through. And I love how he leaves and he just grabs an extra one. Like, I got frustration to take out.
It's like, I ain't done yet.
I love that.
I give it 3.
Yeah.
3.5.
Junis. Oh,
That's too bulky.
I
That's
don't
a 2.
like that.
Okay, so now
I can automatically throw that a 2. That looks bulky as
Okay, I'll
shit.
give him a 2, and I'll give the monster a 4.5. I know we're not rating monsters, but that's going to be...
Okay, what are we doing here?
Well, he's shooting a flying dragon-looking monster.
No, he's missing.
He's missing
Okay,
a
sorry,
giant dragon.
I mean, he's trying, though.
He's doing that Vegeta thing where he's shooting where he's at and not shooting where he's going.
Right. Oh, there's a whole lot of powering up here. Whole lot of slow powering up. This fucking Dragon Ball, we wait.
That guy was quite a distance, and he's kind of a bulky dude. It might have taken him a little
How
bit.
did you get that distance?
He's freezing him?
No, he's atomizing him.
Oh. Huh.
It just looked like it. Yeah.
It's like I saw blue effects.
See, he can't throw. This one can't. Oh my god! You just,
Oh, what the?
You just chopped his
Dude,
wings off.
that move more often.
That guy can't fly anymore.
He's like, wait, what the fuck?
He's like, hey, guy, you know the difference between our flight? What? I don't need wings, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll go back to that one poster real quick. Not that one. Next, the other one. That one. I love he's got that Dragon Ball Z like key flying around him when he's going up and see that's sick.
I think they're playing with a lot of Dragon Ball-esque type things.
Dragon
with
Ball.
these.
Dragon Ball influenced a lot of shit.
Look, even though the move was cool when he chopped the wings off and shit,
He's a little bulkier.
2. I don't care for this guy.
He's a little bulkier, so I'm gonna do a 2 as well.
I'm not digging it. Not digging it.
Sorry. All right, that's done.
That's done.
Cool. No more Ultramen for
What do you
today.
want to go to?
What's the next thing past Ultraman?
Ugh. Something way big.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's the 2022, 2023. That's the Sentai we haven't done yet.
Oh.
And it's a pretty big...
Yeah, let's not do
Yeah,
that.
it's a pretty big thing.
Can you hit one of them real quick? I want to know if it's the series that I'm thinking. I don't care what color. Just pick a color. Can you click on the first... wait, what is...
I can tell you we've looked at these guys before.
Can you click... I just need to...
We've looked at them before. It's the weird
Oh my fucking
creature
lord!
things.
Jesus Christ! Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I remember. I remember it now.
Yeah, we've seen them before.
All I'm saying is because there's a we're getting the new series this year, Cosmic Fury,
Yeah.
which I'm honestly right now about to finish Dino Fury. Me and Amanda have been watching it
Right.
because I want to know what leads the Pink Ranger to become the Red Ranger. I want to know what because that she's going to be the first throughout the entire series, the first main
Well,
lead.
what's going to happen
As
is that there's going to be a decently competent leader that's going to lead the team, and then for no reason whatsoever, Zordon is just going to be like, let me introduce you to the new leader of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Shame.
And he's just
I'm
gonna
not a good
fucking-
leader. I'm not a good leader.
He's just going to descend from the sky, and he's going to be like, that's the White Ranger, and it's just going to be Tommy, and there's going to be no earned whatsoever in leadership or credibility.
That would be like if I
And in the very next episode, he will get bitched and the Red Ranger actually has to save the day.
That would be like
That literally happened.
Yes,
the next fucking episode, the White Ranger got bitched and the Red Ranger had to save the day.
That would be like if you've led our Ranger team this whole time. I'm the 6th Ranger, but I lost my powers. All right, guys, save the world for me. I'm going to go be a civilian. And the next thing I know, Zordon's like, hey, yo, dude, you want to be white? It's a little racist, but okay. Yeah, I'll be the White Ranger. And then next thing you know, I come down and Bill's sitting there like, and I take my helmet off. You all are like, Shane's back, yeah. He's like, oh, by the way, Shane's the new leader. And Bill's like,
I've always had a problem with that.
because if
part
you
of
look
the
at
show.
if you pay attention very closely,
He does almost have a fuck you look.
If you
about him
look
like,
at
yeah,
Jason's
that's
face
great.
when they're panning,
That's
He's
great.
like,
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
For the chat, we're not doing Megazords because those are reserved for the Discord episodes.
Yeah, we've been kicking those out on the Discord episodes.
Because Bill doesn't have the up-to-date of where we're at. Because
my
I've
folder
been
is out of
deleting
date.
them as we go. So,
and knowing you, Bill, my first day as a leader, and I fuck up and you save the day, you'll be like, you'll walk by me and be like, good job, leader. Great job, man. Great leading. Great leading.
Great leading.
Good job, bud.
I'm like,
Great leading.
I'll do better next time.
Though.
Great leading.
Dude, I was just used to you telling me what to do. Now I gotta tell you what. Give me some time.
It would be. That's a hell of a transition.
Shane, you're the new leader. What do we do? Bill, tell me what to do.
That'd be amazing. That's the best leadership ever.
I'd be sitting there when you guys are like away. I'd be at the command center like, can you guys put like a little like microphone in my helmet? I don't want the other team to know that I can't lead. I need it.
We do have Star Trek ones.
Let's do
Somebody
the
in
B.
the chat's asking. If
Let's
we
do
have
the
stuff
B. B. You love the B.
B.
You love the B.
We can do a B. That's
and
fine.
Nick's one of Nick's favorite shifts is he loves the D.
Oh my.
Look, I like the Galaxy class.
I know.
It's the F. The F is the one. Actually, no, it's the Enterprise G.
All right, Bill.
So not that this is relevant in any way whatsoever to our fashion show, but unlike other starships of its time, the reason that this was the backbone of the Federation for so long is that it's easily upgradable. Easily upgradable.
They took the damn neck away.
Well, they started a system along with this ship where they could do basically plug outs.
Yeah, it's
So
the
they
modular
could, they
system.
could remove the bridge and put in new bridge and kind of completely. But it's not just that. This ship had no blind spot. In the old series, you had photon torpedoes that fired from the back. You had photon torpedoes that fired from the front.
Then you had phasers that came off the dish.
No. In the original, because by this
No,
point,
they had
you're looking at
phasers
the
that
A
pointed front.
Oh yeah,
from the front.
We didn't get to the more ridiculous.
And then there was a thing, there was a little, some of the ships had a thing in the back where they could be like, but they were those little phasers. They weren't like these big, mean, fucking solid beams. And these things fired from not a ring, like later they would create these ring systems. They fired from phaser ports, basically.
And they're dangerous. Look, you just went right through that damn thing's wing.
And there were ones on the bottom, ones pointed frontwards, one across the front of the dish, and some in the back.
Well,
so it had zero blind spots.
You have to give. Well, when you're out in space and you can be easily surrounded by.
What class is the C again?
The C is the ambassador.
It's an ambassador.
Okay.
Class.
Yep.
Which is the one right after this one, basically, because this is the
And
Excelsior.
it is quite a bit bigger, but not like Galaxy bigger. Like the ambassador is a good sized ship.
Oh yeah, the
but,
Galaxy's bigger.
But Galaxy.
That's why it's called the Galaxy.
It's the biggest
class.
kind of ship, I believe.
No, they do
Is
have different
because I know the
ones.
Sovereign's a more leaner ship.
Yeah,
The
it's
Sovereign is more of a weird fusion between the Galaxy and the Intrepid.
In a weird way, they kind of reverted back to. They reverted back, strangely enough, to the components of the B.
So
The B almost completely removed the neck, reinforced all the lines, pulled everything in, and elongated it, and then pushed it all in. Because technically the Constitution ships were taller, had the neck, were wider, the pylons were way raised compared to B was made. It was purposely brought in. And
It's the compact that
it was
works.
compacted. And there's a difference between the Excelsior and B. B is not the Excelsior. That's different. The Excelsior ship was fatter. It was wider. It was just a heavier design.
Well,
And
it's basically the basis for what these are, though.
right.
The Excelsior is just the
The B is almost
classification.
the B is almost the refit idea, like when the Constitutions came into dock and got refit into what you saw with like the refit and the A. Those were how refit Constitutions of the time looked.
I like this.
This is how the B started looking. This is how the Excelsiors were built at this point.
I like how the ship looks because if you go back and watch Star Trek Beyond, and when that dude's like cut the throat.
You can't do that.
And you can't do
not
this
the same way. It would take a lot more effort.
Well, no, because of how close it is to the dish.
Yep.
By the time one of those little ships is trying to hit it, I'm shooting you 360 degrees. It doesn't matter if you guys have that weird signal where you can dodge me. I'm still firing at you at a complete 360 degrees. I got no blind spot. You ain't hitting me without
I
me.
mean, it's not a terrible design for the ship either.
Because
it needs to. Because I don't like the ships with like
when you're watching the show,
necks.
when you're watching the show, there's a phaser array that fires from right here, at this fin. You see it. There's a ship that goes actually over it, and it fires up from right here. There's something across the back over here.
Well, isn't that very back end?
This, and this all fire in every direction around the top, and there's a set of them on the bottom which fire all around from every direction across the bottom, and it still has the torpedoes both aft and front on the bottom dish area right down here where it can fire from here and fire from here.
Okay,
22-point phaser emitters.
Yeah, 22
and 4
phaser
photon
emitters.
torpedo
And look at the
launchers.
max warp, 9.5.
Yeah, but that's a misconception.
Yeah, there's 2 photons forward, 2 photons aft, if I remember right.
'Cause,
Maybe there's
Shane,
one
you gotta
aft. I
remember-
feel like there were 2 and 2.
You got to remember, fucking Warp 9 for the original series compared to Next Generation is completely different.
Yeah, it's a different. It is different. They changed the scale, so the math equation basically had changed when new sciences were brought in, and it might have been around this time though. In all honesty, because the Excelsior and moving into the B, that was when they changed warp core technology. So warp core technology used to run. If you ever see the old room, it was long. It went across the ship. So it was, you could stand here and you could look at it, and it went all the way across the back of the ship, so it was like this way. Then these ships started, and they stood up, and they were a very different kind of technology, and you could jettison the core if something was going down. Like in the original Constitution, they were like, we're approaching a warp core breach, and they're like, either we do something about that or we die.
Yep.
Fun to die.
Get to the shuttles.
It's fun to die.
But like
But didn't they have escape pods even in those?
They did, but in this at
yeah,
this
but
point,
you're not going to get everyone evacuated
No.
in time and away far enough.
at this
before
point
the
it was
core
different.
breaches.
At this point, you could see that something was going on. You could hit a button basically and jettison the core out of the ship, and then hopefully put distance before
with
it went.
with your fucking impulse.
You could get away with that when they started standing upright. It was a very different system than what
Yeah,
you
'cause
saw
then
in the
it just pooped out
Constitution
the
ships.
Now,
And actually, I think you see the upright in the refit.
Now,
I think by the time they were refitting ships, the Constitutions were coming in, the old engine rooms were being gutted, and they were being given the stand-up
well, then let
cores,
me
if
ask
I
you this.
remember right.
Let me ask you this: is the very
Because the A definitely has a stand-up core.
Let me ask you this: then is the tail of this ship, is that where a shuttle dock is, or is that underneath?
No, I want to say there are shuttle docks here. I think they come
Because
up the
I know
back,
that as
right
we
here.
I know that as we move towards the D, we're barely using.
If I had my
shuttles.
physical model,
Yeah,
I'd
I
just
mean,
look right
the-
at it.
the
Teleport
Enterprise-
technology got some more.
The Enterprise D, I think they only had a complement of.
Because shuttlecrafts at
12
that point were
shuttles.
kind of getting kind of old, and
Yeah.
people were just like, "Well, we're just going to beam you everywhere." Beaming
Right.
technology got so much more advanced.
It's either 12 or 16 shuttles, I think the Enterprise D had a complement of.
Let's see, the chat saying, Lord Vaughn here says, how would you guys feel about doing a Bionicle episode? I don't know, because I don't really know anything about it. Is this Idris? Corvus? Enterprise
Idris.
G, as in the Universal class, the flying pizza cutter. I remember the G, I know what he's talking about. Phaser strips were not deployed until the Galaxy class debuted, and I think he's right. I think that's around the time when the strips. Otherwise, they were
Phaser arrays?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sovereign class basically a step back from the Flying Hotel Galaxy. And it was on purpose though, because they had to be built to fight.
The Sovereign was designed to fight Borg. The Galaxy class was designed for extreme deep space missions for entire families.
Yeah, very much so.
The Galaxy class was still an exploration ship. The Sovereign was, we got Borg problems.
And then it says right
Fucking
here,
Borg problems.
Mike says, I remember them saying Warp 10 was instantly traveling anywhere, but then in the final
that's
episode
right.
of the Next Generation, Riker says
The
Warp
G
Factor
is
13.
stupid. I forgot about that. The F is the one that I really like.
Gridman series? I don't think we've ever done a Gridman series. I don't even know what that
Shane,
is.
do you know what class of starship the Enterprise F is?
And it even says right here,
It's an
Excelsior
Odyssey
class
class.
refit. Excelsior class refit was when
Yep.
the B, they are the refit designs.
Yeah, that is
And then
a shuttle
these,
dock.
all 4 of these were
No,
impulse engines.
I was right.
Yeah.
The shuttle dock's underneath.
It's
right? I thought it was
underneath,
where the tail was.
which actually protects it even more.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, that is something. I can't remember what that is off the top
No,
of
that
my
makes
head.
sense to have that little putting it underneath where the ship can take the hits while you're trying to get the shuttle in the dock.
Mm-hmm.
When they came up with this design, they were like, guys, I feel like if we do,
I mean, that's better than
I
the
think
Enterprise
these-
D. Do you know where the
I think
shuttle
these
bays
are
are on
the
that?
these are
They're
the aft
The
torpedoes.
back of the neck.
I think these are the aft torpedoes, and I think this had something to do with an auxiliary control. I think it's a second type of bridge. I can't remember exactly what was going on, unless this was the main sensor array unit where people sat in there and did something. I remember this being something very specific, because it had an actual purpose, this area. That's these windows here.
yeah.
Of course, the pylons have completely changed by this point. They're different kind of warp technology.
Indubitably.
You have four different impulse drives.
Impulse drive, which makes this thing quite a bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
This saucer can't detach, can it?
I don't seem to remember ever seeing context where it could.
The only starships
I've never
that
even
had
seen-
a saucer section separate and be able to go and put itself back together is the Galaxy. That was the first ones.
Yeah, because you can detach the saucer in the Constitution.
Because
It
it
doesn't
still has the
go
impulse on
back.
it.
Yeah, I don't think it goes back together. I
No,
think
once you break it apart, it
Because
can't.
you literally have to blow the neck pylon.
Yes, you do.
Whereas the
Because in Beyond they did that.
the Enterprise
They
D,
also do
though,
it. They also do it
they
in a
have
couple.
mag locks.
There's a couple of comic books and a manga which actually shows the separation.
The
on
difference is
Constitution
that the
as well.
Galaxy has two bridges, one in the saucer, one in the back ass of the ship.
Well, every ship has an auxiliary
Yeah,
bridge.
but
Even the old Constitutions, you just rarely seen them.
The difference between the two is one has a pylon you literally have to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
The other one has mag locks.
Here's stuff, buddy. And so this is a cargo bay aft is what this was back here. I did remember it being something very specific. That's the tractor beam emitter right here. There's a cargo conveyor, which is about right here. Photon torpedo launcher right here. So that's the aft. That's one of the aft torpedo launchers. So this is basically this will tell you everything right here.
yeah, it's a blueprint.
Yeah. So if you're
So the
curious at
aft
all,
torpedo launcher is situated right above the shuttle bay.
yeah, but I don't think that's really any different than most of the other ships too. Because oftentimes, like they would put the torpedo launchers like right on the main sensor array. So I mean, you got to put them somewhere. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that it makes perfect sense, but yeah.
It would just suck fucking coming down to like whoop up real quick to get to the shuttle bay, and suddenly there's a torpedo flying towards your face. Fuck, gotta do some maneuvers. Oh, fucking sweet, we made it. Oh, nope, we didn't. We're dead. Totally dead, man.
There's a flying away from a spark plug.
Yep, giant space spark plug.
Yeah, there's a moment in history for you.
Yeah, that's where Kirk dies.
Yep, and that's where Picard still lives. You heard what I said.
No.
I said it.
Yeah, he's still in the.
He's still in the ribbon. Telling you, he is. I've had that theory for years. It doesn't make sense that it would allow him. Look, what does the ribbon do? It takes you to a place of eternity, and then it offers you whatever it is that you desire most in your life. And what did he desire most? To be free. But why in hell would the ribbon allow him, if he says, I just want to be taken out of the ribbon and placed outside of time back here at this point? And then that means that Sauron, whatever the fuck is, you know who I'm talking about, Dr. Saren.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Sayus.
When he gets into the ribbon, you're telling me that the ribbon just goes, because one guy, because it doesn't make sense. If that's how the ribbon works, that means that some guy years ago who was in the ribbon before any of them could just be like, yeah, I don't want to be here. I want to go back in time to the point where I can see my real daughter again. And the ribbon's like, that's fine, and just literally removes every single person that's been up into the ribbon in at that point in time and just puts them in there. Because that means it took Sauron out of the ribbon, and it also removed James T. Kirk and just plops them in time wherever. just because some other guy wanted that. Some other guy. So it doesn't, that means that the ribbon doesn't grant you some sort of eternity that you desire. Like everybody was saying, it grants everybody. And if anybody's desire conflicts with your desire, fuck you.
Get out of the ribbon.
You don't get to choose. So what did he ask for? He asked for things to be more real. For him to... And I have an actual small little backing that nobody stops to think about. What did it give him? It set him back in time where he wanted to go. And Guinan said, time has no meaning here. You can go forward, see your grandchildren, or you could go back and see them born. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. And your adventure never stops. Even to the point of dying and just being put in a robot body. You're always guaranteeing that your friends don't go nowhere. You can always have a data. And none of your main wing officers ever get transferred to any other station other than stations that you know with a full communication to you. Life doesn't get hard like that. It's unless you want it to be very hard. Unless you want a challenge. Then I can give you that challenge. And the reason I'm saying this is because look at the original Star Trek. They got transferred all over the place. They didn't just always get to stay together. They had different job postings, and like Sulu went off to do his own captaincy, and friends floated apart, and they were guys living life. Happened to be living in space, but they were living life. Picard has his entire family unit, which is something that he misses, something that he desperately wants, something that he passed up on in life, and now he has it. And they never break up. And when they do, they conveniently come back together all the time, without question. Kirk's guys didn't do that. They simply didn't. When they went on to different stations, sometimes they would be stationed over there for a couple of years, then they might come back to the ship for a year or two, then they would go off to do something else, and yada, because they were doing their jobs. And at the very end, remember what Kirk says when he hops with the horse over the chasm. He hops over that little chasm. It's not a huge one, but you get the idea. It's enough that you could have broke your fucking neck. He hops over it, and he says, you know, I must have jumped over that damn thing 1,000,000 times.
Excuse me.
Scared me to death each time. But not this time. Because it wasn't real. Nothing here is real. Nothing here matters. And then he says, okay, you want to go fight this Sauron guy? Let's do that. So they go. They go and they fight a Sauron guy. Time has no meaning here. You can go anywhere you want, do anything you want to do. Guess what you got to do? Go fight Sauron guy. You go fight Sauron guy, and while you're fighting your big adventure, and Kirk always believed that he wanted to go out a hero, a big, blazing, badass hero, he got to have a straight-up fist fight, gun fight, kick fight, whatever fight, and then
have a bridge fall on him.
And then he falls off. He falls off into this chasm, off the bridge, falls with the bridge. It's all very dramatic. He hits, he flips all over the place, he crashes onto the ground. He survives it long enough to say goodbye. And then, when the guy gets down there,
it was Picard.
Kirk is not afraid to die. Now stop and think about that, because Kirk is afraid to die. He talks about it in other parts of the series where fear is one of the things that keeps you going. It's one thing to choose not to be afraid for a moment, but nobody's an idiot. You're afraid to die. It's what pushes you to make that next choice, to make the next risk. When he falls and he's dying, he's very blatantly dying, he talks about how it was fun. It made a difference. Real way to go out. Bang up fucking ending. Then right before he dies, what does he say? What's he say?
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. You know why?
Because they're still in the ribbon.
Because they're still in the ribbon. I don't think they ever left. I think that, oh my, I've heard all different kinds of things where people have tried to explain that weird last. That's the only thing that makes sense, is he realizes as he's dying, oh shit, wait a minute. But then Picard is free. So Picard never questions the oh my, never wonders about it, and goes on with his life, where they all get another Enterprise, and they all get that ship. All of them.
I'm going to put in one thing, though. If Picard was stuck in that ribbon, he wouldn't have been in there forever for one reason.
Q can take him out.
I don't
Q's
know
not
about
going to
that.
let his pet human sit in a ribbon.
You don't know what the ribbon is.
I'll be right
That
back.
could be where the continuum lives. We don't know. We don't know anything about the ribbon or where it came from or why it exists or how it functions. We just know that it's a thing.
Oh well.
But I've always wondered if he ever actually left the thing because he gets everything he wants. And other Star Trek shows really don't. Not the same way that The Next Generation did. I mean, look at things like Deep Space Nine where characters keep leaving and dying and coming. There's even weird moments where Worf is stationed on DS9 blatantly. And then when he walks out in Nemesis and Worf is there, sorry, it might not be Nemesis, I can't remember, but I remember there being a moment, it is Nemesis. Not Nemesis. Insurrection. It's Insurrection. Kirk walks onto the bridge and he sees Worf and he says, "What are you doing here?" And it's just like this weird nod that they leave in the movie because very blatantly he should not be there, but he's there. He's just there. And they don't explain it and they don't give you any reasoning and nothing ever comes up for DS9 or anything, but it's because Picard gets the fantasy that he wants to play out at whatever given time. He even got to die and comes right back to life as Robot Man. But then he doesn't even have to be a Robot Man. There's a stipulation to that too, so he still gets everything he wants. And then his family comes back together. It's just weird to me. I can't help but feel like he never left the ribbon. I've always felt something weird about the way the ribbon works.
Well, let's see. I will give the Enterprise B a 3.8.
Okay.
I will give her captain a 1.
You don't like John Harriman?
I will give her captain a 1. But that 1 will be delivered on Tuesday.
Will be delivered on Tuesday. No shit. That's fantastic. Look, I think this is the best Starfleet design I've seen to present day. This is where my Genesis lies. Always. It's always been my favorite design ship. I think it makes the most logical sense in terms of how these ships have worked over the years.
Shane will probably automatically think the Enterprise D or the E are going to get my Genesis.
I think the E
It's
gets it for
the F.
him. I think the Sovereign is his favorite ship.
The F is the one that gets it for me.
Yeah, I think Shane, the Sovereign,
Because the
is his
Odyssey
favorite
class
ship.
is fucking amazing. Genuinely so being the...
And yes, Kirk, at the end, I think it's a tragic ending for Kirk, which, by the way, Kirk said all the way back in Star Trek V, I always knew I'd die alone. And a strange idea to that is that when he falls down and he says, "Oh my," at the end, he's realizing he's alone, stuck in the ribbon, no way out. He's there, and he's stuck, and he will die alone, and there's no way to get out of the ribbon for where he is currently stuck. I think that's what the "Oh my" is about, and then from that point forward, which none of that actually matters now, because Star Trek is in a completely new timeline, specifically because of Picard. Because technically in First Contact, if you're going to go with the idea that he did get out of the ribbon and everything that he's doing is real and affects time and space, I have a thing on my channel actually. On Fandom with ReploidBill, you can find something called the 3 Star Trek lines or 3 Star Trek timelines, and it specifically talks about the fact
There's
that
the normal, there's the Kelvin, and then there's the we accidentally dropped Borg on 23rd century Earth.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's not just that. It's that the reason the Enterprise NX-01 exists, and it did not exist in prior history, is because the NX-01 technically exists because he's seen it. Cochrane is not supposed to see the ship that he would later build the engine for.
right.
Think about what he was building and where his ideas were to make that ship work. And then he saw the Sovereign. And he gets this ship idea and he says, that's how it works. Then all of a sudden the NX-01, strangely enough, has this ship shape. And it's not, if you look at the original movie, Star Trek the Motion Picture, I know, keep bitching, it sucks, watch it anyway. They go down to the gallery.
Just watch it and fast forward for like the first hour.
They go down to the gallery, and when they're standing in the gallery, there's this wall of images. And these are all the most important ships in the history of mankind. The first Enterprise, which he shows a shuttlecraft, which we understand is the actual Enterprise. Then there's an actual boat. There's different things like that as he goes down. The NX-01 is not on that wall because it didn't exist. It didn't exist until Picard fought some Borg in the past and influenced the mindset of Dr. Cochrane. Zephram Cochrane then sees what he's meant to create before he creates it, and it alters the perception of how he would have built it and how soon he would have built it. Because originally he meets some Vulcans and then slowly becomes a better man over time because of circumstances. Mm-hmm. But no, he met Picard and Picard's crew. He spent a lot of time with Riker and whatnot, but you get the idea.
He spent a lot of time with Riker, which is a good and bad thing. I mean, it's fucking...
Well, he gets to meet these guys from the future that are so advanced in everything that he wishes humankind could be, but right now his idea is money. He didn't make...
His idea is we survived World War III.
Yeah, he just wants to make the Phoenix, make some dollar signs, and retire to an island with topless women. He says it himself. And yeah, Vulcans would have appeared that day. And then his attitude would have changed a little bit. But it still would have taken time. It wouldn't have been as quick of a change. And that's the reason that mankind moves faster than it was meant to move. The NX-01 definitely becomes a thing. And then because the NX-01 becomes a thing, the new Star Trek timeline for all of Star Trek technically starts, you watch the movie First Contact. Then after you watch the movie First Contact, you watch Enterprise. Then after you watch Enterprise, you watch Discovery, and you'll notice that in Discovery, they introduce the Enterprise, which looks different, but still has a lot of different components that are normal in things like Strange New Worlds. That's because history was changed by Picard, and we're currently moving through a timeline that is still Star Trek at its core, but it has been altered because of the changing of a man's perception and the dropping of two Borg, which actually affect us meeting the Borg way earlier than we're supposed to in Enterprise.
So which of the two timelines does the Kelvin branch off from?
The Kelvin branches off from the original timeline when Spock goes back and changes everything.
Okay, I didn't know if that still happens.
Which technically
in the other
isn't
one.
Spock that changes everything. It is, because he does the red matter thing. But the destruction of the Kelvin creates its own timeline. But the destruction of the Kelvin is a change that occurs to the normal original running timeline. And then everything changes from there. So there are 3 timelines. 2 are time alterations, and 1 is the Prime Universe. The Prime Universe is the original thing that ran from the original series into the Next Generation, into Deep Space Nine, into Voyager, and that's one timeline. And yeah, I know other things go back in time, but nobody leaves a mark on history like Borg are left on the planet, and we purposely influence the guy that will create the entire cultural substandard of all society. Nothing affected time like Picard affected time. Nothing.
When he went back in First Contact,
that's what we were just talking about.
With helping Cochrane figure out everything.
There are 3 timelines in Star Trek. We are currently in the First Contact timeline.
Bill thinks he knows which of the Enterprises your Genesis is.
And Picard, I would tell you, is a snap effect. Snap effect. Snap effect is when you... Okay, like, have you ever seen Flashpoint? Because that's how we could actually explain this, is we could say, have you ever seen Flashpoint? See, Flashpoint works like this. He changes time, he changes history. And then when he does that, let's do this so we can actually have... When he does that,
oh, there we go.
and history gets altered, this is what happens. Okay? When history gets altered by the Flash, his mind starts to snap to the new timeline, and things around him start to change, and he starts living that timeline. Everything that he changed alters to his perceptions, and he always existed in that timeline. That's what was happening to him.
But
And
he
it
was
ran
also
its-
still remembering his old one.
But he was losing
as
memories.
conflict.
He was losing memories as that movie went on.
Yep.
And if it went on just a little bit longer,
He wouldn't have remembered anything.
he would have just existed in that timeline. That's what happens with Picard. Picard is technically taking place in the timeline for Strange New Worlds and things of that nature, because that timeline is currently snapping into effect as the actual history of Star Trek. And as it does that, different characters, that's the timeline they'll understand and they'll know. Picard, as the history and the world has changed around him in the snap effect theory, he's just adapted to it, which is why when you see the Galaxy class in the Picard series, it's the same. But it's not. It's just a little bit different, a little bit more advanced. It's a little bit more angular. It's not the same Galaxy class that we saw. It's not. You know what I'm talking about? When you see it in Picard, it's different. Why is it different? Because to Picard, it's not different at all. It's different to us, but Picard is currently living through the snap effect that he created when he went back in time.
Yeah.
And his time, as the universe snaps back into reality and fixes everything that the timeline has happened, as it goes down, it kind of just makes its adjustments, just like Back to the Future. Old Biff can go back in time, change history, and then go forward in time, but he went back forward in time to the same place he left, because the snap effect hadn't taken place yet. He didn't exist yet as the new Biff that would exist in that current timeline. That's why he's able to go forward and bring the cane back to them and bring the car back to them, even though the doctor later tells you, you can't do that. If we go forward from this place in time back to 2015, we'll be going back to the future of this 1985 because the snap effect has already happened. They were only protected by the fact that they were going back. That's all timeline snap effect theory. It's that you change something in the past, and then as the events change and history and time fixes itself, the people that then continue into that part of history, that's what they know. It's not necessarily a different them, but it's an altered them.
Time travel's fucking weird.
Like
man.
a fucking rubber band. And that's exactly what Picard is dealing with right now. Is Picard went back in time, changed something, everything changes up through the main line, and then because of it, Picard still lived the same history, but it looks different when we see it in the flashbacks now, because it is different. But not to him.
Makes sense.
Well, what time is it?
It is 11:37. So after he gets this, we'll go to a new folder.
I thought it was...
I gave it a Genesis.
I gave it a 4.
He gave it 4.
I'll give it a 5, but that's just on paper.
That's fair.
Well, Shane, I gave the ship a 4, but I gave the captain a 1. But that one gets delivered on Tuesday.
Yeah, he said that won't be delivered until Tuesday.
Guy gets his mail. And just a piece of paper with a 1 on it. Motherfucker.
Fuck that Nick guy.
So there was a bunch of Star Trek talk that we got through. Now
It's
we
kind of
can
nice.
Now we can go to superheroes, or we can knock out a Gundam.
Which superheroes do we have?
We have Spider-Man. We have Supergirl.
And that's it.
We've knocked
Let's do
out
Spider-Man.
we've knocked out almost every other hero. So Spider-Man wise, this is what we're looking at.
Sweet baby
Bam!
Jesus.
Okay, because
We collected a lot of shit that we never got to.
since the new Spider-Man movie is out, why don't we do Miles?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Because there's the...
Now, hold on. Are we doing Street Miles, or are we doing Miles?
We might just do both Miles. I can't
Okay.
imagine the Street Miles having...
Here's Miles. This is the Miles costume. And I don't give a shit what somebody else might say. This costume is dope as fuck. Like, it's so fucking good. And I like how he's a kid. He's lanky, still built, and you could tell that the spider powers, of course, give him an edge in terms of where his body size actually would be. But, like, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a lot.
And I like
this.
Because
you get to see the two. When the artists go out of their way to change the body caps, because he's an older man in his 30s, because they won't let the motherfucker grow up, and he's a kid, I like that. I like that there's a huge difference in the body caps when they go out of their way to showcase that.
And I like that Miles also, to make himself, he is Spider-Man, but to make himself not Peter Parker, because then people will just be thinking that he's just another... His is red and black instead of the red and blue. I get that it's not a...
Which is also a callback to the original Spider-Man costume, which was red and black.
Yep.
And Miles is, I don't know, like, he still has, like, the spider web, but it only goes down to about the mid.
It goes down to his belly button in a triangle.
And then everything else is just a solid color.
And I kind of dig that.
I like Miles.
I like the big,
that's a
big red
fantastic
spider
rendition.
crest, too, in the center.
Yes.
That rendition they did for the video game is fantastic. He looks great.
Yes, he does. Those Spider-Man games are quite literally the best Spider-Man games they've ever made.
I want that figure. Damn it, dude. It's going
Are
up in
those
price
two
every
different
day.
spiders?
What?
What's that?
Go back to the side-by-side.
Yeah, he has a red spider.
No. The actual spiders themselves. I think those are two different.
I think
he's got a black widow.
Yeah, his has this little extra thing right here, which changes the spider outlook because he doesn't.
He's got the
that.
rounded spider. Yeah. So yeah, Miles has a kind of like a black widow spider on his chest.
Well, I don't know if this has ever been, but maybe each Spider-Man that's been bit, maybe they take on a different spider.
That'd be cool if they went out of their way to do something like that.
So let's look at all their powers real quick. Peter he can climb walls, super endurance, strength, spider sense.
Oh, actually, wait, no. Miles wouldn't have that black widow. He's because he's got that weird electromagnetic shit.
And he can go camo. He can.
Well, that's because he's got the electromagnetic shit. That's how he does the invisibility. There's like a spider in the world that can do something kind of like that. So I think that's the one that he adapted
I just think
from.
that it would be kind of cool that if they all had a different...
They kind of do, because
they all have different powers.
If you look at Miguel,
Man, Miguel
in 2099, he can't stick the walls. He's got to have
the
talons.
talons.
And there are certain spiders that can't stick the walls. They have to have
So he has the talons. Spider-Gwen was bit by the same spider that would have bit Peter.
Yeah.
So she's the
She's Peter.
Yes, she's
basically.
that. Yeah, she's whatever the spider that bit Peter.
Yeah, she has his same powers, but she didn't make the way she gets around some of her equipment stuff is it's made for her specifically by Reed Richards.
Well,
which is a different Reed Richards in her universe, but it's
still the smartest man in all of Marvel.
If I remember right, that's where she gets decent.
To be honest with you, if I needed equipment,
and also
I go to the smartest man.
Something they don't often go into.
You would, but I would go to Doctor Strange
and
that
get
way
magical
I could have
powers.
hoodoo powers.
Something they often don't go into, and I don't know exactly why it happened, but Gwen seemed to accept her powers quicker than Parker, and because of that, she's adapted fighting styles and whatnot that work for her.
Well, they say women mature faster than men.
Well, she's more like she's incredibly agile. Like you talk about how Spider-Man is agile and he's hard to hit. She's like a straight up kung fu ballerina. She even
wears ballerina slippers.
She fights better than most any other spider person in terms of hand-to-hand combat.
Isn't she like a ballerina or something like that in her universe?
I think she's
some motherfucker wearing tennis shoes.
I think she's
that are just spray painted.
I think she took ballet, But no, she's not a ballerina. She's actually a drummer for a rock band.
Shane.
Which is also why I love the fact that they gave her these Converse sneakers now.
Oh my god, yes.
I actually really like that.
Is that motherfucker wearing Air Jordans that have been spray painted black?
When you play the
Why
game,
not? Batman wore Nikes.
when you
That's
play the
fair.
game, you find out that it's just this one suit, but it looks like he's got sneakers. But no.
Look,
See, right there.
I'll give this costume a 4.8. I dig it.
I think it's shockingly well done. Yeah, I'll do 4.8. I'm very tempted to go 5 though. I think it's very, very good.
4 points.
It's up there in my spectrum, but I know the two.
4.6.
I know the two suits that I love the most
Yep.
out of all of the Spider-Man suits, and I know which one's my Genesis, and I know which one is right below that one that none of the others happen to hit. So I technically shouldn't give out 5s for anything but that one. But a 4.8, 4.9 means it's real fucking close.
Miles has a very good suit.
Okay. Street Miles.
Oh.
This is where he's got a hoodie on, his shorts.
Shane, it's cold, alright?
And yes, in that game,
Spider-Man gets cold.
I think in that game it is taking place in winter. So
He's
yeah,
basically wearing one of... Yeah, it's oh my god.
he's wearing his spider suit underneath of his shorts and hoodie and sneakers.
Yeah, that's not his spider suit. It's
Because in that movie where he's sitting on the building and he's listening to what Peter told him, that it's just a leap of faith. He's wearing that when he swings into action, wearing that suit for the first time. But by the time he gets to the Kingpin, he took all that crap off and he's just wearing the spider suit.
yeah.
But he went out like that originally.
But yeah, the spider suit that we get, and there's two of these technically. There's the one that you see in the video games,
Yep.
which is where he's kind of wearing one of Parker's costumes.
He does it because he doesn't have his
Yeah.
quite yet. So yeah,
And then there's the other one where he's wearing a different version of his costume with all the street clothes
that
on
one
it.
right there. That's the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it's not terrible. I mean, he's a kid. Maybe he thinks he looks cool. I don't know.
Well, and the emblem's different.
Yeah, it's not the same costume. That's a different costume that we get in the street clothes. It's different.
I'll give it a 3.5. Not really digging it.
I'll do the same.
2. I did not like the street clothes weird. I really didn't like it. I thought it just looked way goofy. I can understand it, and it's definitely poignant towards a different generation than me, and that's fine, because things evolve, but like...
It's Spider-Punk.
It kind of bothered
Although
me.
there is a costume in that game called Spider-Punk, and he has like a mohawk.
Okay, we knocked out 2 of those.
Now, see... I see one.
Well, we got
Hold on,
about
what do we got?
15
I
minutes.
only see one of the two.
What?
I see where my Genesis lies.
Okay.
I don't see where my 5 lies.
Okay,
'Cause
so
unless it's under the Civil War. Would that be where you got the Iron Spider outfit?
Yeah, that's where Iron Spider is.
Okay, so then, yeah, there we go. I see my Genesis
okay,
and my
so
5.
then let's. We got how much time? We got 13 minutes.
Fuck it.
Let's-
Male Noir.
Let's do Noir.
I haven't used my Genesis this episode. Might as well.
Let's do some Noir.
All right, I'm already going to let you know this now. It's Genesis.
Some guns, Shane.
Yeah, he doesn't have all the other sweet abilities.
Yeah, it's true, he doesn't. But his entire outfit is made out of leather.
Yeah. Dude, I wish I had that.
I fucking love
I
that.
didn't get a chance to get this figure, and he blew up, and he costs way more money than I'm willing to spend right now.
Because of the era that he's in, this all makes complete sense.
Yeah.
This is my favorite fucking Spider-Man, and I don't fully understand why, other than he's kind of almost steampunk without being steampunk.
I mean, he's noir.
Yeah,
He's basically Spider Batman.
kinda. Yeah.
But because he uses guns, where he's the Spider Thomas.
I mean,
Wayne.
I mean, look at him though. He's wearing like a turtleneck sweater for his base underneath. He's got a custom tailored leather fucking tunic basically over that, a leather trench coat, and he's wearing pinstripe fucking pants. The man is awesome.
And he's got
basically combat boots.
And he's got fedora and goggles.
Well, the goggles are
to cover up
for the leather with the leather mask. Yeah.
I actually think they're an extra part. They're a strap.
Yeah, they're a strap.
Yeah.
He puts the mask on, but then he puts the goggles.
He's got 2 eye holes, and then he pops the goggles on.
It could actually be a very different concept. It could be exactly what you saw in when they talked about it in the Civil War movie when they brought in Spider-Man and they asked him about the goggles and he said that it helps him focus because when his spider sense goes in and he starts seeing everything, he needs to focus in on things to kind of trust that sense. And they talked about that. That could very well be something of the same concept that because he doesn't handle his powers the same way as others did.
No.
But this is by far my favorite Spider-Man.
Oh, buddy, this is modern day, man. Huh?
And you only get to use him in only one damn game. And it makes me sad.
But he's also voiced by Nick Cage.
Yeah, he was voiced by Nick Cage, so... He still is, I guess.
Okay, where are you going?
You went Genesis. He went Genesis. I'm going to go with 4. I like this guy. He looks cool. I like the trench coat and fedora. I mean, you always get points when you put all that.
Rock the detective outfit, yeah.
Because, like I said,
1920s gangster detective.
4.5. I think he fits. Look, if you were going to do an era Spider-Man and you were going to play off the Noir idea, I don't think you could have done better.
Any better.
I don't know. I can't personally look at it. And if you were to ask me to redesign it, which I've done with different costumes where I've said, if you would have moved this up here or changed this, I would be hard-pressed to tell you a single thing to change on this guy to make it better. I don't know that I don't know that I could. I think they pretty much nailed it 100%. It would be almost impossible to redesign it.
No, I wouldn't change much of anything.
Well, I
don't really...
The pinstripes and the stripes alone were just big in that era. Mobsters and detectives all wore fucking trench coats and dusters.
Yep.
They all wore the fedoras or bowler hats.
Yep.
But the detectives always wore the fedoras. They never wore the bowler hats.
Bowler hats were more like the police, weren't they?
And no, the bowler hats were more...
everybody wore them. It was just a common thing on the street. Everybody wore those damn hats.
But the thing is, it was more along the lines of like certain mafias would wear certain hat styles.
Also, hats were a thing back then. You got to know
like
that
everyone had a hat.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't have a hat, people would offer you a hat.
It actually
because you should always have a hat.
It was a very normal thing to have hats in that time. It was like a very fashion thing that people just kind of wore hats. Like it's a trend that big time died down. But people wore those damn bowler hats. You see them all over. Like in old photos, you could see like literally hundreds of people walking the streets, and they've all got those damn hats.
Now the weird thing is, like you'd go up and see like an Italian mobster, and he'd have his hair all fucking slicked back and everything, and the second he leaves, he pops a hat on.
Let's see. Shane, it's Christmas death battle. Which would win, Spider-Man Noir or Spider-Man Toei?
Toei. Oh, shit.
It's not even a contest. It's not even a contest. Look, no matter how much I like Noir, Noir doesn't have the same web powers.
Nope.
He would get his ass whooped.
He has goop.
And he has a handgun.
Which, spider senses I can just dodge that
Spider-Man
shit.
has
Spider-Man Toei has Leopardon,
and like machine guns and crazy ridiculous shit and a weird spider vehicle that he could just fucking run over a motherfucker and like a helicopter and other things that make no fucking sense. It's not even a competition.
Now, if you want a competition of something kind of on par, it would be Spider-Man Noir versus Batman. Year one.
Yeah, if we're talking year one, that matches up pretty well because neither guy.
Batman Year One was still finding himself. He didn't have.
He does better equipment.
He did not have full power of his magical superpower of preparedness.
But he does have better equipment still. Because Batman, even from first appearance,
because he's a bit. Remember, money speaks, and you've got. I don't know what Noir's job is outside of.
He's a photographer.
But yeah, those two guys fighting. Those two guys fighting is pretty cool.
It's Peter Parker.
Okay, so he's a photographer. We all know that photographers don't make it. Bruce is a billionaire. He automatically wins.
Well, Bruce is a millionaire if you compare it to the timeline.
Okay, yes, millionaire.
Of the times, because...
even a thousandaire.
It actually... No, I lied. Probably the best pair-up would either be Batman Year One or... it'd be Gotham by Gaslight.
That might make more sense.
Gotham by Gaslight, Batman.
That is way
is the same technology.
Those two would go at each
other.
Now,
in a fight like that, I wouldn't know who would win.
Well, because Batman still gets all of his martial arts prowess because reasons. And even though it doesn't make sense during that time that he trained
Spider-Man's going to be hard
because he couldn't have possibly traveled the world in the same context. But regardless, he gets it because he gets it.
Does Noir have spider sense?
Yes.
Okay, so he can still dodge shit.
He is not Spider-Man 2099.
He just doesn't have. He doesn't have the tech.
He doesn't have web. Okay. He has goop.
Yeah, he has web.
Spooge web.
He still has web, but he kind of grabs onto people and just kind of like.
Yeah, he can goop you to a wall.
Now, I want to say
but he can't swing
there's comic books where you see him swinging around and everything, but I can't remember if those comics are after the... Because he does appear in the Spider-Verse comics.
He does, and he has web, because he's swinging.
Yeah, and he's swinging around.
Yeah, but he could have gotten web shooters from
one of the other Parkers.
But you also got to remember
but I don't remember...
When the spider bites you, you're constantly changing.
When we were first introduced to him...
Remember, Peter eventually didn't have to have the cartridges. He could just shoot the web eventually.
Yeah, and he also grew fucking 6 extra arms.
Well, you know what? Okay, well...
when he's bit by the spider, he's constantly changing.
The organic webs that you're talking about was after he died. They do a big old fucking thing in the comic books where he gets beat to death. Literally, fucking punched to death. It's a brutal fucking fight.
By who?
Technically, it's a kind of vampire.
Morpheus?
No. So there's this weird clan of vampire-esque people, and what they do is they exist and they search the multiverse, and they feed primarily on the spiders. That's how they survive. They don't vampirize other things. They kill Spider-Men because there's some mystical thing that exists that makes spider people what they are, which is the reason... Yeah, there are other Tony Starks, but they're not all Iron Man.
No.
But some of them
are arms dealers, some of them are alcoholics, and some of them are just dead.
See, Iron Man doesn't exist in every universe. He exists in a lot of them, but not every single one. Spider-Man, there's some mythic thing, some mystical power that reverberates across the web of time and universe, which there's a spider in every single universe. Even if he only existed for a mild second, he's in every single universe of Marvel.
Kind of like there's always a Sorcerer Supreme. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean it's always Doctor Strange.
There's always a Sorcerer Supreme.
But there is always a Sorcerer Supreme.
But I thought that movie, Multiverse, I thought that Doctor Strange always becomes the Sorcerer Supreme.
No, because there's even like some of the X-Men have been Sorcerer Supremes. Like Magic was actually the Sorcerer Supreme for a while.
Clea became Sorcerer Supreme once. Baron, fucking, what the hell is this goddamn name? Baron Zemo.
Zemo, yeah.
His pseudo best friend.
Okay.
He was Sorcerer Supreme.
But those vampires, they travel the multiverse and they kill spider people.
Becomes Sorcerer Supreme.
And every time they kill a spider person, they get more powerful. They feed and they get more powerful.
One only became Sorcerer Supreme because of a technicality. Snapped. And our Sorcerer Supreme is dead.
But the way our Spider-Man beat him, Parker Parker from 616 actually beat this guy. So this guy was going universe to universe and just fucking taking him out.
What you really want, though, Shane, is you want to go and visit the Spider-Man from Universe 1800.
Well, Spider-Man found something out. Our Spider-Man found something out. What they
That's
eat...
medieval Spider-Man.
When they eat, they gather power.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, he purposely...
Let them eat him?
He purposely injected himself
What a...
with, like, radioactive material.
Oh, well, it's going to kill you,
And
but it's smart.
While it was literally killing him,
It's smart.
the vampire got to him, fed on him, and it almost killed the vampire.
Did he call Blade to help him with this?
But then there was another point where
Blade,
this guy...
That's Blade's specialty.
There's another point where this guy shows up and literally punches...
Oh, Mordo, my bad.
Literally
Mordo?
punches Spider-Man
Baron
to
Mordo.
death.
Baron Zemo's a different guy.
He's the
That's,
guy that... Baron Zemos is the one in
Baron
Civil
Zemo
War.
is... Where the fuck is he at? There he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Baron Zemos is the one that's from Civil War.
Yep.
So when Spider-Man was punched to death, he did die. But evidently, this is all because of amazing retcon technology.
It's amazing technology.
It's amazing technology. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Yes.
It's comic books.
Yes, it is.
So here's how they handle Parker dying. And of course, because you got to bring your heroes back. In the 616, when he was punched to death, they revealed that the spider that bit him is a special kind of spider. That when the spider dies, it cocoons itself and comes back to life. This is a real thing in nature, by the way. The spider will die, will cocoon itself, and will basically come the fuck back to life.
So that's what Parker did. He cocooned himself.
And that's evidently what Parker was bit by specifically.
That one kind of spider.
When he dies, they take him to the Avengers mansion, and they're like, fuck, and they lay him out, and they give him this. They're waiting to do the funeral and everything, and they put him in their room. I can't remember if it's like a morgue or whatever it is. It's an area where they put them, but they put him in there, and then he cocoons overnight and comes back to life, and then he gets all the other powers. His web becomes organic. He starts like kind of delving into the spider powers, where there's an actual thing that happens during that point. This is during Civil War. He gains these stingers that come out from here, and he can sting you, and it's like it does paralysis and stuff, like paralysis. And there's another thing.
Son of a bitch!
Where he has other powers, like he has other powers where, like, if he goes into a room and the room is pitch black and he's absolutely blind, he can put his fingers down on the ground, and then through the reverberation of one thing in the room, he can tell every single thing in the room, like an absolute fucking echo vision. Very much like spider webs or spiders, the way they can feel
the vibration,
like,
and they know exactly what.
They feel
where.
the vibration on the web.
Well, actually, spiders are so sensitive that they can actually feel the change in the air. The reason why spiders, it's not a precognition, they don't know that you're coming for them, but the reason spiders do what they do is some of them are so actually sensitive, those little hairs
on their legs,
that if a spider is there and I move like this, the spider can feel that movement through the air all the way over here.
And then be like, I'm out.
Yeah. So that's what's really going on with the whole spider sense thing.
Spiders are interesting creatures, to say the least. Regardless if you like them or not. I know you don't because of reasons, but
look, I have a mutual respect of spiders. They respect my want to live, and I respect their urges not to die. So as long as we stay on our,
stay in your lane. You
stay in our lanes. We're good.
It
comes at me. It's a fucking round of Mortal Kombat, and every time I win.
And if you start coming at me, if you start drifting in my lane, I'm gonna slap you back in yours.
Oh no, I'm just gonna slap you off the highway.
Yeah, there's still a lot to go through in terms of all this. It's surprising to me how little progress we've made. But whatever.
There's a lot of folders and folders and folders. And
That's
folders
the problem.
And folders
Is
and
some of
folders
this
and
some of this
folders and
material
folders.
is really hard to get through. Good God, this one looks like we'll cut through it fast.
We will.
Yep.
That one's easy.
But like, the next Rangers will have to be at the start of an episode. We'll have to purposely come in to do these 22 guys because like there's just so much, And all of it is stuff in stuff in stuff. Like, it's so much. A lot of these are quick looks, because, like, we just kind of look at them and go, yeah, that's a thing. Because there's not much we can do.
Yeah, the battleships and stuff are kind of meh
when
in
it's
Gundam.
When it's barely a change, or it's just like, hey, look, that exists. You kind of look at it and go, look, that exists, and we move on with our lives.
Right.
That will finish up someday.
This I'll delete specifically because we're not going to do it here. Those are the... And then there's things like these are going to go quick. When we look at stuff like that, it'll go quick. It's literally one thing, one folder, we're done, we knock it out.
Yep.
There's all the stuff that hasn't even been unpacked yet.
Oh, yeah, those are all zip files.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Well,
Supergirl is almost done. She's got 2 things left.
We could probably knock her out next time.
Ultraman, oh my lord.
There's your biggest one.
We still got a lot to go through. That's the point. And then this was added. This is a whole new thing of stuff. So yeah. Still a lot to go through. A lot to go through. It'll take time.
We might get them all done by the end of the year.
Yeah.
It'll take time.
If we haven't killed ourselves yet.
It just is the way that it is. We're knocking it out slowly but surely, but it takes time. It's not something we can just bolt through in one sitting, especially now that we're getting back to our roots. I see it in the chat where it comes up and people go, next, next, next. Allow me to tell you something. Tell you something real. Fuck you next. Just letting you know right now, when this show started, the idea of this show was to talk fandom at random. Literally. One day we'd come in and talk video games. The next time we'd talk Bruce Lee. The next time we'd talk, hey, what the fuck is going on? Did you hear they're going to make a new fucking Thundercats cartoon? Who the fuck here even watched that shit? The next day we'd be talking about Zoids. The next day we'd be talking about fucking manga that somebody read. The next time we'd be talking about a fucking book series. Literally, like Nick would be like, so I read almost all the fucking Dragonlance books when I was a kid. And here we fucking go. Like, whatever the conversation happens, the only reason for the pictures at this point, the only fucking reason they exist is because they might put us on talking points. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. So while we do have very specific subjects to talk about, like, hey, let's talk about the Spider-Man thing. If that takes us on a tangent for 22 minutes talking about whatever the fuck, that's where we're fucking going. That's where we're fucking going. That's the show. That's what the show was meant to be. That's what kept it interesting. Every single episode was meant to be. Even if you didn't give a shit about what we were talking about, there was a reason to stop by. Because there was a chance that when you stopped in and you started watching the show, you might say something in the chat or cause something that led us on a tangent that was a 20-minute conversation that you wanted to hear.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Unless that tangent is only writers and Sentai.
Which is not happening anymore.
Yep. We're gonna go over the stuff, but we're not gonna
dwell the way we used to.
We are not only that stuff.
Yeah.
Like we have been for the last 7 years.
We're trying to bring literally everything back. So you're also gonna see the folders expand into things like, when we want to talk about video games, there'll be a picture folder specifically for video games so that we can talk about them, so that we can go into stuff like that. It's just the way that it's going to be from now on.
Yeah,
and that's
you know what? Fuck that stupid
originally.
upside down wing mech, all right? That Ultraman was about to get an ass whooping verbally from me until we figured out it's just decorative. It's just decorative. Like Blue Beetle.
And that's that. I think we're done.
All right, guys.